Hello, welcome to Maths 3 with Mr. Laughlin. That's me. So sorry I am not there in person to be with you. Hopefully, I will be there very soon. And this is a picture of me. I am your new math teacher this year. I'm 32. I've been teaching, this will be my 5th year. I love math and science. I originally got my degree in chemistry, so if you have any chemistry questions, I would love to chat with you about those. I also love Star Wars. I love rock climbing. I love playing guitar. I have a family, a wife, and a kiddo. He is 4 years old. And we all cannot wait to be there in Italy. But until then, you're going to have me like this over the internet. And I'm going to do my best to teach you some math. Also, side note, I did not make this presentation. Mr. Laskowski did. So please thank him if you see him for this beautiful presentation. So, today we are going to talk about indices. This first chapter is about indices and rational numbers. Today we're going to focus on what is an indice or an index, and we'll do some problems. At the end of this video, you will have a worksheet to work on. You just need to do those problems that I give you, and that's it. So, what are indices? Do you know? Think in your head. Do you know what that means? What is an indice? An indice. Indices are how many times 1 is being multiplied by the base number. So we're going to multiply the base number by 1, right? So if you look over here, let's say 1 is our base number. We're multiplying 1 by 1, and it's being multiplied 3 times. So your indice would be 3 in this case, right? Here's another example. 5. 5 is an index of 2. So we multiply 1 by the base, which is 5, right? Multiply 1 by 5, then do it again, because 2 is our index. So we multiply 1 times 5 twice. You can see here, 1 times 5 times 5 equals 25, right? This might not seem important to have this 1 here, but it is. And as we talk about different types of indices, you'll see why that is important. But this is the definition, right? It is how many times 1 is multiplied by the base number. So in this case, 1 is multiplied by 5 2 times. So our indice is 2, right? And that would equal 25 if you multiply those all together, right? So here is a beautiful cube. I want you to do some thinking. I'm going to ask you some questions, and you can either pause the video. I'll leave a little bit of space in there. I want you to think, and I want you to try and answer these questions in your notebook. So please get that out if you haven't already. Each small square has a side length of 1. So as we look at this cube over here, we're going to say that the side length of one of these cubes is equal to 1, right? And they're squares, so this is 1 and this is 1, right? I want to know what the area of one side of the big cube is. So like this would constitute one side, right? It's a big cube. So 4 of these squares and 4 of these squares down. What is the area of one side of the big cube? So I'm going to ask you all 3 questions, then I'll have you pause. I want to know what is the total surface area of the cube. So remember, you've figured out this in the last question. And then the total surface area. Think about all of the sides, right? Some of them are hidden. A cube has 6 sides. That's a hint. So the second question is, what is the total surface area of the cube? And then the last question is, what is the volume of the cube? The volume. Perhaps you don't remember what that means. Give it your best guess. Try and figure out the volume. Volume, how much space something takes up, right? So think about what you know about the side lengths, right? So try and answer these three questions. The area of one side, which would be this. The total surface area, right? So all of the sides. And then the volume of the big cube. And if you need some hints, you can always look up here, right? This isn't going to answer everything for you, but it might help you think about it. So I'm going to pause for a second. I would suggest you pause the video, try these in your notebook, and then once you're done, you can unpause. So I will be silent for a second so you can try and figure these out. Okay, so hopefully you paused. You tried to answer these questions. Even if you get them totally wrong, that's totally fine. Oh, I forgot to say this. Write all answers using indices. Maybe I'll try and edit that out. So I will give you another chance to pause now. Right? Write all your answers using indices. Make sure you do that. Give you a chance to answer. So indices, right? That's this number up here. So write your answers using the indices. Okay, let's talk about the answers. So for our first question, what is the area of one side of the big cube? How do we find area or surface area, right, in this case? Does anybody remember that formula? So here's the answer. 4 with an indice of 2. Why is that? So each side length is 1, right? The area of something would be its length times its width, right? So 4 and 4. So 4 times 4 is our area, which would also be equal to 1 times 4 times 4, which means we can write it with our index, our indice, right, as a 2, because we're doing 1 times 4 times 4, 4 to the power of 2. Total surface area. Let's do that one next. So we now know that one of these sides, right, is equal to 4 with an indice of 2. How many sides are on this cube? There's 3 that we can see, right? 1, 2, 3. But there are also 3 more sides, right? There's a hidden side, and then there's a bottom. So there are 6 total sides. So to get the total area, the total surface area, we would do the surface area of one side times the amount of sides that we have. And that is 6. So our answer would be 6 times 4 to the power of 2, right? This is the total surface area. 6 sides, each side is equal to this. That's how you get total surface area. The volume. So this one, perhaps you didn't remember how to do the volume, but volume is just like how much space it takes up. So a volume would be like this cube, this one white cube right here, has a length, a width, and a height or depth, and they're all 1. So to get the volume of one cube, it would be 1 times 1 times 1, right? You can see that over here. We're thinking about volume here. So to get volume, right here, the answer was here all along, right? We have 4, right? A length of 4, a width of 4, and a depth of 4. So that would be 4 times 4 times 4. So we can rewrite that with an index, an indice of 3, right? Multiply 4 times 1 3 times. So 1 times 4 times 4 times 4. It's also equal to 4 to the third power. That would be our volume of the cube. All right. Yeah. Might want to write this down too if you're taking notes.